Hello again, this is Warren from Apollo Tech Support, and we're just going to have a quick look at AlarmSense. So this is a demo board that we have just to show you the AlarmSense devices. So in this case it's attached to a Hayes AlarmSense panel, but you could get a CTEC AlarmSense panel or a Kentech AlarmSense panel. They're both compatible with AlarmSense devices. So this is an AlarmSense heat detector on a standard base. Just have a look at the base there. The wiring for standard bases, both your positives go to L1 in and both your negatives go to L2. So we've got that wired up as such. And this base can also take a remote indicator, whereas the sounder bases can't. So there's a terminal on here marked -R, and that allows you to connect a remote indicator to that detector base. We're just getting the head removed signal because the PCB that's inside that base is sending a signal to the panel to say it's been removed. But we can have a standalone sounder, so we've got a standalone sounder base here, and with all sounder bases you wire to the grey terminal blocks inside the base, not the outer ring terminals, the grey terminal blocks inside. So your pos and neg come in and go out of those grey terminal blocks. This in the middle is the piezo. It's the bit that makes the noise, and we've got a bit of wire across the outer ring terminals between L1 in and L1 out, and that is just to fool the base into thinking there's a head fitted. And that means we can then have that as a standalone device and fit a cap on there if we want to. We've got an AlarmSense call point, and we've got an AlarmSense smoke detector on a sounder visual indicator base. And again, that's wired the same way, so pos and neg in and out of the grey terminal blocks that are provided. With this one, we've just unplugged the piezo because when I'm demoing this, I don't want to make a lot of noise with the sounder. So this one's just going to flash. And in some cases, you might just want a flashing beacon. So in some toilets that you use this in, it's possible that you would just want that to flash rather than sound. So you can just unplug that sounder. It's quite easy to do. And obviously that will mean that it just flashes in the toilet rather than sounding and flashing and scaring the person that's in the loo. So we'll attach that head again because it's giving the head removal signal at the panel. It's giving us a fault. We've also got some standalone beacons, but they could be sounders or they could be sounder visual indicators. So that's gone off now. So this demo really is made just to show off the priority non-priority function of AlarmSense. So everything that comes out of AlarmSense is default priority, which means that if it goes into alarm, you're going to get a full evacuate. But there is a little dill switch in the base, in the sounder bases, and if you attach it to a smoke detector and set the base to non-priority, in somewhere like an HMO, you can have it so that if the detector on that base goes into alarm, just that sounder will sound. So that's how we've set this base up. And we're just going to demo what happens when we put some smoke into the smoke detector. So if we just add some smoke and put the dust cover on, what should happen is the detector will go into alarm, and just that sounder, there it goes, just that sounder will activate for 2 minutes, and then that will give the person who's in that room a chance to ventilate the room, flap a towel or some blow through the detector, whatever they need to do, to stop that full evacuation occurring. So so this will go on for 2 minutes, which will always seem a long time. And if we blow the smoke out of the detector, we should be able to clear the room, or ventilate the room. And after the 2 minutes, when the detector resets, or when the panel resets, our detector should be out of alarm condition. If it's still smoke in the detector after 2 minutes, then you're going to get a full evacuation and everyone's going to be cleared out of the building. So this is very useful in places like houses of multiple occupation, where you've got several apartments in one building, and just because someone's burnt their cooking, it clears the whole building out. So you set your detectors with sounder bases up in each of the apartment rooms to non-priority, and then only that sounder will activate. And there we go. So our 2 minutes is gone, panel's reset, device is now out of alarm.